Welcome back to Crystal P and Friends. I'm your co-host, Rosalind.
Crystal. And today we have some guests. You guys want to introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up? It's Ace. Hold up. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm Vic. How you doing?
We're great. How are you?
How you doing? I'm Trey Nova. How you doing?
We're good. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
We got some testosterone in the house today.
Tice testosterone.
Yeah, just cool vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was saying like we're outnumbered now because we have 3 guys, but we're not worried about that. We got it. We got
It depends on everybody's views is different, so it depends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start off with Crystal's favorite,
Really?
the current events.
Well, we just have a few things we want to talk about until we get to our topic. One is I was looking on the news. I think the news and TMZ, they were talking about a racist cop in Hamilton, Georgia, and how he was caught on the body cam using the nigger word and talking about black people and how we fed them, we housed them, and how we took pretty good care of our niggas during slavery.
Wow, that's crazy.
And who caught that?
These dummies forgot to turn the body camera off.
And that's the cop saying that.
Yes,
Yeah.
2 cops.
So how are they protecting and serving? I guess.
They can't.
Yeah, they can't.
They're biased already.
Yes. So how many black people or people of color, period, have been arrested just simply for being black?
A lot. A lot of things are different with being black too. Like I'm sure they probably were handled different. They probably were approached different, and it's sad that it's like that.
Yes.
They're more hostile when they approach us, more authoritarian. And then you see them approaching their white counterparts, and it's like, okay, and he just cussed you out, snatched your gun, and you
Pointed a
still
gun
like,
at you.
buddy, stop it.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
what?
Yeah.
Yes.
I done seen videos of a guy with an actual rifle. He went in the back and got it, and the police was still like didn't shoot him at all, or even a warning shot. It's like, what's the difference? The guy reached for a wallet, and he actually reached for a gun. You shot the guy with the wallet, or that was a little aggressive without a gun.
Nothing but race.
What are you trained
Yeah.
for? Yeah.
Because I've seen them with knives. I've seen them with guns, even pointing them at the police, and they figured out ways to de-escalate the situation. But when it's us, it's shoot first and worry about the rest later.
Right.
And it's not even like shoot first, it's shoot them in their back. So it's
Right.
no aggression there.
Yeah.
And they keep getting off like it was within their rights to shoot somebody in the back.
Right.
Right away.
They do that because they low-key intimidated. You know what I'm saying? The black presence, if you think about us from the last like 30 to 40 years in America, we've, you know what I'm saying, upgraded in life as a whole standard. The culture is us. The movies is us. The sports is us.
But why be intimidated? I mean, we fight for everything. Like, we're fighting tooth and nail
Yeah.
just for some piece of equality, which we technically still don't have. Like, we have the illusion, some of us, that we have it, but in reality, we don't.
They talk generation hate. It's like, you know, it's been going on for years. So
And it's fear
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they know how they treated us. So if we get power, they might do us like we did them.
exactly.
That's where
They
all
know
that
that.
stems from.
That is exactly why they don't teach us much. They teach us how to be an employee. They teach us how to be a servant, if that makes sense. But they
Yes.
teach you how to serve somebody above you and not how to be above the rest. So like in school, it's all about white history and slavery. They never tell you anything the blacks did good, how we had liquor stores and gas stations first, and how they bamboozled us out of it. The good things that we did do is always, oh, well, Reggie Douglas did this, that's cool. We had a lawyer, this Martin Luther King, he did that. But it's never about the small people that have done things to create the society that we in now.
Yes.
So,
But you know, the crazy part is, and I'm not sure where everything kind of changed up, and I'm not telling my age, but, but I remember back in the 80s,
Okay.
we still owned everything. We still owned the liquor stores. which weren't even liquor stores. They were like little family convenience stores. Black people owned that. We owned a lot of stuff in our neighborhood, and I don't know when the change happened because I was a kid. So
Crack.
of course, girl.
Crack happened,
Yeah.
and it was intentional
Oh yeah.
because we were doing well. They can't stand to see black communities thrive. Any black community that's doing well, they make it a purpose to either come in, rezone, we got to build something, we got to do something, but y'all got to go. And then say, well, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all need to pull yourselves up from your bootstraps. Well, you keep taking my shoelaces.
That's true. I have too many examples of that through history. You have Rosewood. You have Seneca Park. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. Seneca Park is Central Park.
Okay.
It was actually a mixed area, diverse area, predominantly black, and they decided to take it. And basically evicted everyone from the area and said they needed to use it for the city. And majority of the blacks there were former slaves and homeowners. Completely got rid of everyone. No one had anywhere to go. Just took their homes. Because you can do that if the city, what is it called? Eminent domain, I think.
Yeah.
Where you can come in and if they feel like they need this area for whatever, freeways or just whatever, they can take it. They don't have to pay you. They don't have to do anything. So these people were just thrown out.
Don't forget about Black Wall Street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a prime example of African Americans who had wealth, came in and just tore it apart and took it from us. So, you know.
Always. I mean, we have to know our history in order to kind of know where we're going. So that was something. So another one I wanted to talk about, I just want to see you guys' opinion on this. Kiki Wyatt, she made a comment on social media talking about how she's biracial, and she had an issue with the fact that black people talk about how we were enslaved. So she was saying, well, black people aren't the only ones that have been slaves.
So
what's the point?
I don't get what she was trying to say.
Basically, stop whining. Black people need to stop whining, and you're not the only ones that were slaves. And it irritates me every time I hear that because we're still dealing with systematic racism. We're still dealing with a lot of things from slavery, from Jim Crow, from segregation. We're still dealing with a lot of these issues that are redlining. We're still dealing with things that intentionally hold us back.
Right.
And it's targeted at us. So to say slavery ended or why are you still whining about it?
I mean, and when they say things like that, you're saying basically forget your history. So then we shouldn't even have history in school.
I have a question, Crystal. When did she say that? Like recently?
Yeah.
In Black History Month? How dare her?
What is she mixed with?
White, I believe.
Yeah.
She white and black.
Yeah.
I believe so.
It's still slavery. If you think about it, these plants is like slavery. If you ever like been to, might been to jail or not, but like
I've been
prison
into the jail.
You been to the jail before? So
What you mean walking through it?
I had to go see clients.
the jail and the prison system is a difference. So prison won't run without the prisoners. Prisoners, they cook the food, they clean the yard, they clean the bathrooms, they work in the law library, they work in the library, they clean the up front. So officers don't do nothing but patrol. So without the prisoners, the prison wouldn't run. It would run, but it would cost them more money if the prisoners actually said we ain't doing nothing. But they make it a qualification to get out, you have to hold a job. So in order to make you work to get free, they have to. It's like slavery.
Yeah.
You work for your freedom. So it's like they give the white guys, they give them the maintenance jobs, the easy jobs that they do to keep them learning how to be handy. They give us the porter jobs, cleaning the bathrooms, plunging and things like that. They be like, oh, you got to have a certain amount of time in to do this. But you look up, you got the white guys, they working on the outside the gate, like the cop car and stuff like that. So you have to work in order to get out. It's a new age slavery to me.
Yeah.
So Ridiculous. Yeah.
That
so-
was odd when I went to a prison in Muskegon, I think, and they was walking around. I was like,
Yeah, prison kind of more like
wait a minute.
self living kind of
Yeah.
independence in a way. You just still incarcerated. Whereas jail, county time, is like you really locked up.
Yeah.
You, that cellmate, and all
Oh, that lock.
yeah.
Yep. When I went to,
that's
yep.
more
They
county.
locked the doors. They
Yeah.
like look at the camera, then they let me through, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this
prison
ain't
is
That's a
different.
lot.
Different, definitely.
girl.
That's a
Yeah,
lot.
and they'll leave you. They left me down there in the holding cell. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah.
See, it's so different when you. The only thing
was
we know
cops
about
there.
prison
I mean-
is what we see on TV. That's it. And we know in real life, a lot of things are not like what you see on TV.
Right.
Like we went, what was that? That escape room. We did the escape room,
In the jail.
and it was the jail one. And when they locked us in the chains, we like, oh, we didn't sign up for this. Like, hold on, this is too much. So it's like it's kind of hard to
felt
imagine
weird.
it.
It felt weird.
Oh, it was awkward.
Your whole body just locked up a little bit.
Yeah,
like-
I mean, it'd be different.
Because you can't get out.
I'm sorry, but it'd be different. Like
Right.
if you playing around with handcuffs or something at home. But I'm sorry,
He looked like what?
that's my brother.
I'm lost.
I mean, but I'm just saying, compared to
If
really
you're having-
being locked up for
Yeah.
real,
The real things, the
Yeah.
heavier ones.
Yeah, that's
I just didn't like all the closing of the doors, all that. It's like if something pop off, I
You're in
can't
trouble.
run
You
and
in
just.
right.
And I'm like, in all these inmates, and it's like 3 guards walking. That's in here with me. That's not enough. They can overrun us if they want to.
They could, and it's crazy. I don't know why. They can. It's over thousands of prisoners, and it'd be probably 12 guards. And it's- I wonder how do they control? But they got this thing they put in the food. They keep you calm.
Do they really?
Yeah. So you
They
know
put
how
medications in y'all. Do y'all got to sign a waiver
no,
or
no,
something?
So
oh.
it's this thing that they put in the food. They cook it to keep us mild mannered. So that they used to put stuff in the food and
Are you serious?
oh yeah.
So it's a
Like,
medication.
but you don't know unless you work. So the guys in the kitchen, they happened to find it out and they put it out there. But you have an idea like why is most prisoners calm? If you think about it, like there's not like that many riots anymore.
That's
you think about it,
insane.
how world changed. Like, you be riots a lot. Now you don't hear about riots no more.
They
In
should
certain prisons, like you got like Alcatraz stuff like that, but
Yeah.
in state prisons, you don't hear like, oh, it was a riot, because people are more like, I was ready to go home, because how do you doing all this time and you just so calm? Officers telling you what to do. You a grown man. They tell you when to use the bathroom, when to go to bed, when to go eat, when to go to sleep. It's how can you control your mental like that?
Right.
And I never noticed that. But yeah, if you start eating that food in there, you definitely notice that it's a whole different change in your attitude. The biggest guys they look aggressive, be calm. Don't make sense.
That seemed illegal, but
It probably is illegal, but they don't let you into Michigan prisons though either. You can't even go in there with a video camera. There's no Michigan prison videos ever in life. So I just be like, I wish I can get in there, because you get in there and record what really happened in there. Michigan be shut down.
something new.
right.
Wow.
This is interesting.
So still on that same track,
Mm-hmm.
I know you want to talk about that little girl that got arrested.
Which one?
The little girl that the cops pepper sprayed.
Oh, the 8-year-old.
I didn't
The
see-
9-year-old.
Yeah, she was calling her daddy. Yeah.
The 9-year-old. When I read the article, they were saying the mom contacted them because she threatened to kill herself and the mom. And so when the police came, of course she was distraught. You know what I mean? She didn't want to get in the car, so she like pushing back, like, I don't want to get in the car. Y'all gonna pepper spray me, something, whatever. So first they were like, come on, we're not gonna do anything. We'll call your dad, blah, 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 because she was calling for her dad. And then the next thing, the cop was like, pepper spray her.
Wow.
They handcuffed her and pepper sprayed her, and one of the cops had the nerve to say, you're acting like a child. And she was like, I am a child.
How old was she?
9.
Whole child.
I
A
don't
whole
know.
child.
That's like your niece. Could you
yeah,
imagine?
I thinking about it now, like I can't, because you're 9 years old. I'm not calling the police. I'm gonna kick your behind. I'm not about to call the police on my baby. I mean, they don't care what their age is. They just care that they're little black kids. That's all they need to know. So I'm not about to put you in that situation. I'm gonna whoop your butt. Like I don't know. I'm kind of lost with that one. I didn't hear that.
But if what she reported is true when she called 911, they should have sent like an ambulance instead because it was a suicide situation. Somebody to de-escalate the situation, but they brought the police instead. They sent them. It was like wasn't it like 6 cops?
I only seen 2. The police gotta come first though. Police come first. Even when you call the ambulance, the police come first.
I mean,
to
they
make
come
sure it's
with
not
them,
to make sure it's not a threat or something like that. And then
But-
that's when they call the ambulance. That's why people usually die because why the police coming first? Y'all should come at the same time. If that's the case.
Right.
Why you come and wait until they call you first? The first responders,
Oh,
but y'all not technically the first responders.
yep. So that was. I just knew you was gonna talk about that one,
No,
girl.
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, it happened in New York.
Wow.
Good old liberal New York.
Okay, so one more thing before we get to our subject. T.I. and Tiny.
Oh Lord.
Have you guys been hearing about that?
For years now, depending on
Yeah,
what you're
it's
talking
hiding.
about.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. The rape stuff or
Yeah.
paying
Oh yeah, I
sex.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
And he
all
was-
getting sentenced and all that.
Wait, they getting
What-
jail time?
No, I don't think he was. The only thing I heard about it was I guess he came. I missed most of it, but I know he came forward, finally spoke out and said something about, I guess it was rape allegations against him. And he said he doesn't feel like he should have to put his business out there, but now he has to kind of speak on it since they're saying, that him and his wife were, I guess, sexually abusing people. But what it was, he said it was a young lady that they had been sleeping with, having threesomes with, and she, I guess they were paying her, and they stopped paying, and that became an issue. And then all of a sudden, it was about rape.
Right.
So I was like, I just thought that was interesting. 'Cause
But that's he say, she say.
Yeah.
Because they're saying that they were paying her, but it could have. I mean, we don't know.
No.
But of course, their story is going to be what's.
They probably taking a different approach to it because most of them deny it, but they actually admit to it.
Yeah.
Like, well, if we admit to it, they can't say we raped her.
But I heard it was some other women that had allegations against T.I. too.
And that's why I think
Yeah.
they tried to put charges on them. That's why.
Yeah, I think it was some other women that said that they were
Tried to put
raped.
charges because it was more people. That's understandable.
I don't get that though. How do you come years later to say they raped me? How do you have proof? How can you say they raped me all of a sudden? So if you haven't been around this man for years, were you scared to say something? You go to the police. Now you go to police. Now what's the difference? He got more money now, so he can touch you easier.
He can, but most rape victims don't come forward. Like as many, we hear about a nice amount of them, but most of them don't come forward. And then a lot of times when you come forward, they attack you. You go to court, public is like, well, she asked for it, she did this, she did that. So it's like you're victimized all over again. So a lot of people just keep quiet. And then you got to think about the fact too, a lot of people, especially when they're young, it's a family member. It's a close friend of the family. Like, it's not a random person that did it. This is somebody that everybody knew about. And a lot of times family knows and won't say anything. And then you do have the ones where they don't know, but when you try to say something, they don't believe you. So a lot of times victims don't come forward.
Yeah. Think about the Me Too incident and how all them people been working for years, making millions, and didn't say nothing.
True indeed. But it's like, why not? Why say something now though? What are you gonna get out of it? You don't get no money
Because you
from it.
living in
finally
your
had to-
truth. They living in their truth now. They finally got the courage, and that's a healing process to finally, I'm going to stand up for myself.
But if you got paid for it, how can you really press charges against somebody and you took
Oh,
money?
you talking about it. But we don't
So
know.
that make you a prostitute.
But we,
Basically,
And
for some
that's-
of them,
So,
yeah.
It don't-
shouldn't she get charged too for solicitation?
This my thing though.
What?
Everybody know that T.I. and Tiny got an open relationship. You telling me that she all of a sudden they somehow got her in the bedroom and they raped her? Come on, man. I don't.
But that's just like Mike Tyson. I still never believed that story. If I'm going up to your hotel room, middle of the night, we about to do something. I'm not going to your hotel at all if I'm not expecting to.
Tupac. Yeah, I'm about to say that. That's
Yeah.
the same. The same
And
thing.
But at the same time, it's like they have to really, and I'm not going to blame certain individuals, but some people know you have money, and they're going to lie.
Right.
If they don't get what they want, you don't spend money on them, you don't do this with them, they're going to lie on you. And it's like people have to take that into consideration. Even men, you bring a woman back to your house, you could end up sleeping with her, then you break it off with her, or you ditch her because you just wanted to get some. And now it's an issue. Now she's alleging that you raped her, even though it was consensual. But how do you prove it?
And people, I want to make this real clear. The sex can start off consensually. But anytime anybody says, no, I don't want to do that, it could be a position they don't want to do, and that person does it anyway, that is rape.
Yeah.
Anytime no is said. So, yeah, it could be consensual, and then they might think, oh, we joking. But whenever somebody say, no, they don't want to do something or don't do that, and you proceed to do it, that's rape.
That's the mystical situation where it was like it was consensual. She was kicking him. She was actually, I think, a stylist or whatever. And then after a while, she didn't want to do it no more. She had a boyfriend basically, so she couldn't do it no more. He still wanted to, like, nah, bump that. So that's the
So he put himself in that position. Then.
Yeah, that's why he did that the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
To jail and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think it was like the same thing with Kobe, wasn't it?
No, Kobe was different. It was a groupie. She tried to act like it wasn't.
Don't
the
say
whole
that.
time. She did because they got her to admit it later on. That's how he actually beat the case.
But that's the
I
hard
don't
part.
remember
Like
that.
you don't know because as a celebrity, you can use your fame, your notoriety to get away with raping someone, and then who believes you?
That's true.
Like
That's a
again,
lot.
when the victim gets victimized over again by the public, again, that's why a lot of women don't want to say anything. Why come forward when nobody will believe you? And they'll just say, oh, she was a groupie. She was just there for the money. And, it's kind of a hard situation because sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. We don't know, but, we all assume.
Right.
Like, we don't know for sure, but we all assume, oh, I don't believe her. I think she's lying. That's a hard thing to deal with.
Did you believe her?
Who?
The girl who accused Kobe.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Okay. That's fair.
Because I thought it was the anal sex that she
Yeah.
didn't want to do. She was consensual initially. He wanted to do anal, and she said no, and he did it anyway. So that's how it was presented.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You got anything else for us?
No, that was it.
Okay. That was a lot. I feel like we went off on tangent.
I was trying to find some things to fill the time. Okay, so our topic today is users. People use you for different things, and sometimes we allow it. We don't stop them. We don't say anything. We just allow it. So let's start with places to live, where you have that one person that's only talking to you because they need somewhere to live, and you have a place. So they kick it with you. They talk to you. They spend time with you. Don't really want to be bothered with you. Don't even like you, but it's cold outside. They need somewhere to go. So
I don't really know how that go. So you got to ask the women point of view on this because I don't think really men have women staying with them.
Yes, they do.
You think so?
Yeah.
I've had a couple
No,
they
females
do.
live
Think-
with me.
They
Think
do.
so? I've never had that. I've never had that. So I can't really answer that question. But I have been one that has laid in a house before. So,
For real.
But
men,
yeah.
men do move in
But
fast.
it wasn't because I didn't like them or nothing like that. I never had that thought of it. It was just like it happened too fast though. I can say that. Like you dating somebody, you always over there. So it's like whatever. I'm just staying here. It's
So
like
what's the fastest?
So the fastest would have to have been me and my son's mother. Like it happened. We were just together all the time. So it was like, you always here, so why leave, you know? And we together, we gonna be together, so why, you know? And you just end up moving too fast instead of actually courting the right way. You come over, you might come over my house, might come over. No, so it's giving you space to reflect and things like that. But if you always with somebody, you never really see if you can miss that person. You just locked in. It doesn't seem, haven't worked out. So it just
So question, when you say you moved in with your son's mother, were you staying somewhere else, or did you not have anywhere else to stay?
No, so I was I think I was fresh out. I had just got out probably about 8 months ago.
Okay.
Before that, so we had met, but I was staying with my dad. So like I had somewhere to stay. It was just I got a woman. This is somebody I mess with on a regular. So why not? I'm always over here every day anyway. So it's like, oh, you might as well just stay the night. So I'm staying the night, and then you go home, and you end up, can you come over tonight? It's like you getting back up and leaving. So it's like, why not? You know, I'm only messing with you. So let's just do this. And it doesn't seem to work out that way when you rush. So I feel like now that we are not in the same space anymore, I see that I did need my space and she need hers. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn who you are. And I did 4 years. You know, I was a kid. I was a teenager when I left. Came out an adult. So it's like I never had my own space. So I needed my own space to be able to grow as the person that I am today. So you constantly grow when you learn it yourself. Yeah. You know, it's bad circumstances. Oh, you got a kid now, but you still got to find you regardless. You know, so.
Did you feel like you were using her?
I feel like I was using? No, because I was still a breadwinner though. I made good money. I just being a felon, you can't really get a place in your name as easy as somebody without a felony. I might have all the money and a good credit score, but that don't mean you got a background. I don't want to live in the hood.
Right.
That's just something I don't want to do. I don't want to go back to that. So why would I put myself in that situation?
Right.
So I rather live on the outskirts. People don't know me. I can walk around. They looking at me funny. I don't mind. Look at me funny.
Right.
You know, I'm doing just as well as you. You know, so they wonder how you can afford that. So it's like it was hard to find your own place. You know, so it wasn't that. It was just like
convenient.
Yeah, it was convenient. Yeah, it was. It was convenient. Okay. I had in-house woman.
Right.
You know, so you ain't gotta. You know, it's there. It's woman. You ain't gotta live by yourself. You know, so the driving over there every day. Why not?
So have any of the other gentlemen felt like they were used for housing or anything?
Yeah, one time, and it was recent.
Okay.
Basically. It was recent, yeah. Friend of mine, kind of the same situation, but we wasn't nothing serious. We just always was cool. We actually met through work. Long story short, we kept dating, going out, having fun. Fun turned into, like, basically, you always pulling up here. Then I got to know her, her situation. Like, okay, out here, so I don't want you to be out here. It's cool, chill with me sometimes. So basically, that started turning into, oh, I want to see you, but basically because I don't got nowhere to go.
Okay.
Everywhere else, when you got something to do, you want to go do, you know what I'm saying? Just be everywhere.
Okay.
Till
it's time to go to bed.
Yeah, the party's over now. Everything closed.
So how long did it take before you realized, okay, she's just around because she's in need of what I have?
Immediately. So I kind of made it work to my advantage. Like, basically, like, it's terms to this. We got to have an understanding. You got to let me know, you know what I'm saying, without no relationship, no strings attached. Because normally when you do that, you invite in a relationship. So in order to keep that in check, because I was single doing me, having fun, so I didn't want no strings attached. So I'm like, we got to make sure we got to understand it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be just doing stuff for you, and you're not just going to be coming here. You got to actually make this be a 50-50 thing, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So contributing.
Yeah, contribute. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we was doing. She did that. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? But I made her learn the lesson of the value of not using someone just to be.
I have a question. Okay, so she was contributing 50-50, but you weren't in a relationship. You weren't in a relationship.
Yeah.
So what were you doing exactly?
Basically,
was she trying to say, was it cash or was it ass?
Because I'm baffled. I was like, we not in a relationship. You're not claiming me. I'm not claiming you. But what are we doing? Like,
Well, basically, we started dating.
Okay.
So it just went as that.
okay,
No more than dating and all that stuff. So.
Okay.
but do you think that complicated things by you trying to date, but she's in the house with you?
It did at sometimes, but not mostly, because basically I was always gone, like working. I'm not there like that. She just there, you know what I'm saying? But she work and do stuff too. That's where the contribution was coming in. But at first she was just laying up,
Okay.
like just chilling. Like,
And yeah, but y'all were still dating though at that time.
yeah, we were still dating.
Okay, so it was
So-
probably kind of you was getting something out the deal, and she was getting something out the deal.
Exactly. I make it be to where it's even.
Now, I would say from a female perspective, my thing is, if you don't have a home, you can't come stay with me.
Okay.
You're not moving in with me. I need you to have a home before we start dating. I don't care if you have an apartment. I don't care if you have a house. You need to have somewhere you lay your head, because it will not be at my house.
What if it's mama's house?
Facts. No, in
What
your
was-
name.
In your name.
You can't be living with somebody else.
Can't live
no.
with nobody else.
No,
So,
I got my place.
so
You're
what
not
if
moving.
he's taking care of his sick mother? That's not an excuse either.
That's different.
Okay.
I mean, he still has somewhere to lay his head.
Yeah.
But
you say your own place. You say you don't care with mama's house.
Well, no, that's a different
You
set
said
of
if you-
circumstances.
Yeah.
If a parent is ill, and
yeah,
you're
you
taking
better
care
be
of
taking
them.
care of your
Yeah.
mother.
So,
Because if
so
not,
what if he living there because it's like, okay, so Middle Eastern families,
They're together.
they live together
Okay.
until they are married.
Asian
Yeah.
families do the same
All
thing.
that's how they build generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
They build wealth because they're not forcing their kids out to go be
Yeah.
adults so early. We grown men do not become adults until 25 mentally.
Everybody.
Some women are put through more trauma in order they are forced to grow. A lot of men aren't, because a lot of men have the nonchalant attitude. So we don't have to grow. We can still be us. Like, I'm still 18 my whole life. Like, you got grown men that's acting like they're 19 still, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's why I'm saying, like, what if it's that situation where it's like he's not forced to move and I see if he's 40 living at his mama's house, like, okay, you ain't figured it out yet. But like, if you're in your 20s,
We in our 40s.
right?
So,
So
it
a man
applies.
shouldn't be right. True, but I know a man that lives in his mother's house. He has a whole cave downstairs. She lives upstairs. He's a girl. He's almost 50.
okay.
He still lives there. She's mildly impaired in a sense, but she can walk. She can walk around. She had her own car, everything. So he's there because she wants him there. He don't have no reason to leave. So if you met him in that, he's a good man. He got a job, blah blah. But he's like, why should I leave if this is home is bought? Why should I have to go do that? If he has that belief, do you have?
Do he pay any bills in the house?
Most definitely pay bills, but it's like he still live home with his mom. It's her home.
Because part of that growth for me,
Mm-hmm.
for everybody, is you need to know how to be independent on your own.
Yes.
Be able to handle bills on your own, manage your money on your own. And if you've never had that, that's a deficit when you get into a relationship with a woman, or even a woman in the same vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
It put a burden on a person that's already there, and now I'm waiting for you to catch up.
Okay. So do you feel like men should expect women to be able to cook and be able to
If he know how to,
right, but should a man expect that?
should nobody expect anything from anyone.
how can you expect from
but as an adult,
Right? But as an adult you should be able to cook, right?
But
No.
shouldn't you be able to cook too?
all
As
you
a
need
man?
to know as an
Exactly.
adult,
As a
all you-
man,
Why
I want a
can't-
man
so-
that knows
I
how
don't have to
I
cook
can cook
if I can
but
go
he
buy
should
me
know how to
something to
cook
eat.
too, because I may not
Exactly.
want to cook dinner every
So-
night. I want to be spoiled and treated too.
Okay. So if you have flaws and he have flaws, how can you?
That's not a flaw.
It's not.
Finances is a big flaw.
But what if he
not cooking isn't? I can go
but
buy
why can't
something
you
to
teach
eat.
him how to finance? and
At
teach him
40,
how to
I'm
cook?
not here to teach
Right.
anybody how to do their
And
finances.
especially a 50-year-old.
not
True,
not
true.
not basic finances.
Okay.
Now, if we talking about
Bigger.
building,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we can do that. But I'm not here to teach you how. Oh, okay, you gotta do your budget for the month and pay this and pay that. And no, I'm not doing that.
Because what if
These are-
he? Because he might be living fast.
Well, he needs to slow down.
but it take a woman to slow him down.
I'm not here to no.
Because some people even when you getting older, you have to learn certain new things. You might just be getting money and just spending it, and I know how to manage it. And
so that's a
problem.
Irresponsible. You're
Right.
irresponsible financially.
But what if he
No.
has every other quality but that?
Finances is a big one. You know, that's the
Yes.
number one cause of divorce is finances.
But what if he can learn that though? He can learn it. You
That's
find a woman that's like
that's
hey,
a hard thing to learn when
need
you're
to-
if you're a spender.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to not be a spender. That's a behavior. So that's something you have to break.
But then you're talking about training someone when they're like in their 40s.
only I say they have everything else but that sense because they're so used to getting money and not having to worry about so much because they have
That's still a big issue though, because again, like she was saying, that puts you in debt.
right.
We're not trying to be in debt, especially if you're in your 40s or 50s. We're looking at retirement. This is when you know you're older. Like
real.
when you get the information from your job and it's like, okay, I have this many more years before I can retire. I need to put more money into my 401k. I need to make sure I have enough savings. At 40, you should be looking at that because you want to retire in the next 10, 20 years.
66 or something.
You want to. The
ideally
goal
way
is
younger.
to retire before that.
Yes.
60?
So that's why you
Yes.
can't. It's hard
Yeah.
for women.
50 or 60 years old, depending on your
60,
career.
64, 64 or 65 to get your Social Security.
Without
Partial.
being penalized. You got to be a certain age to not get
60,
penalized. for it.
70.
It's
Did they? I thought it was 66 still.
It's
But I heard they were
70.
going up.
It's 70.
Which is crazy because you have so many people that pass away before you even have an opportunity to draw your Social Security. So, I mean,
So should there be something in place after a certain age for certain people? Like if you're a certain age, you get a certain amount of something if you pass away early. Then there should be something implemented to help the families pay for stuff or cover things. To say you 50 and you like right there, and something just miraculously happened.
but at 50,
Think
shouldn't
that-
you have
Them-
insurance?
Yeah, you should.
And see, that's a big
That-
problem.
That's a lot of our culture problem because if I've learned from certain people, certain other races, like they build generational wealth through life insurance. They take life insurance out on the oldest family member, like $1 million policy, and everybody take turns helping pay on it. And then when that pass away, you take that $1 million, you pay for the funeral, and you invest in whatever you invest in to keep your family afloat. And then you keep doing that because they get older. That's how they keep money inside of their family because they keep doing that over and over again. And it's like, we don't even have life insurance. See, I got it on myself and my son. So if I go now, my son is good.
Yeah.
But I learned that from even though we black and this like, but it's like you can learn from ignorance. You can learn from other races too, because everybody's not what their ancestors were. Because we got bad ancestors too. So it's like I ask questions like, hey, how do you afford that, or how did you get that? You know, how's your family like this? Because I want to know other ways of life to walk. Because it's like, why are they so successful, and why can't our people be like this? So you have to ask those questions and befriend certain people to get insight. So generational wealth is a big thing. Investing in your family. That's where the issue is in black communities. Like we don't stick together. We so against each other, but why?
And that's I'm glad you touched on that because that's the thing I did. Like for instance, the sick mother. I had that situation coming into 2020. I was working out of town in Toledo, and then I moved back, to help her. She had walking pneumonia at the time, and at the first around this time, two things that happened. Kobe just passed, and then Corona was notified to the world. So she knew about it around that time. We all did. So I came back home to help out, you know what I'm saying, and basically provided the funds for the mortgage for the house, you know what I'm saying. And after that, just made sure I took care of her during the time, so the quarantine. Then the friend came back, you know what I'm saying. Didn't have nowhere to go because it was quarantine. So the world shut down. So I'm holding all that down and still working through the whole pandemic. Today came, but basically when we did that, I made sure we went to go get life insurance. So we got it on a family policy, and then I went and got my record label and my film company. So now my family, we all kind of the same strategy. Keep the house, not everything going for the rest of our life. House locked in, everything with the whole family. So something happened to somebody, and I got my own life insurance already. It's two things I learned about women and love about a man. It's security and responsibility. If they don't know them two, ain't no relationship gonna last. So did that, sealed the family deal, and we got it going like a 360 now.
I think some of these things, though, need to be taught to our children. We need to talk to our kids while they're young. Teach them financial literacy. Teach them how to save money. Teach them how to, what you were saying earlier, be their own bosses. Be an entrepreneur. Stop just trying to go to school, trying to do whatever you need to do to go work for somebody else, and learn how to be your own boss and build that generational wealth. So, I mean, there are a lot of things we can teach our kids while they're young, even insurance. There's no reason we should have so many GoFundMes because nobody has insurance. We're trying to figure out how to bury someone. But you worked 30 years. You worked 30 years and worked a decent job. Like, it's not just people who are dealing with financial issues. There are people who actually have really good jobs and still never got life insurance. So the question is why? Why were you not taught how important that is? Don't leave that financial burden on your family to try to figure out how to bury you, how to take care of whatever bills you have left. You know, that's something that we have to definitely talk to our kids about, and we have to teach them while they're young. Don't wait until they're 25 and they're working at Chrysler. They don't want to spend that money on life insurance because they don't see the relevance of it. It's not that important by then, even though it really is.
Yeah.
We just got all off topic.
I know. I'm sitting here like, what happened to people getting used?
I know. We got
It was
off
still
topic.
good.
Yeah. Okay.
You did.
What about-
being used.
Yeah, we did. It was good. But what about rides? Like, have you ever had somebody, they only call you when they need a ride? You don't
some
really talk
money.
to them.
Some
Oh,
money.
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Like, they need something from you, so now they need that ride. So then you hear from them. But any other time, never call you, never get in touch with you. You don't know where they are, just nothing.
I've heard of that through other friends and stuff, through situations, but I never really went through it.
And that could be male. I mean, all this using just ain't with a intimate partner. It can be a friend because a lot of people got mooching friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always asking, can you take me here, take me there? And I don't mind. But some people need gas money. You know,
Yeah.
gas
Or
ain't
at
free.
least offer. At least
Yeah,
offer.
because I'm not gonna take it.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I feel like I gotta put gas in the car anyway, so I'm not going out of my way.
But at least you
Right.
know that they're willing to give you gas. Like,
Exactly.
Okay, you
It's the
appreciate my
thought.
help. You
Yeah.
appreciate my help.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The ones that use you for money. They only call you when they need money from you. Don't call you any other time, and don't give them money. And then I've been told the best way to get rid of someone is to have them owe you money.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they don't want to pay that money back, you will not hear from them again.
Until you actually got something. Hey, I got this right here. You can have it. Like,
Man,
but I gave you that. Like
Yeah.
that's not a return payment.
at all.
Yeah.
But one thing I don't like, and I won't say any names, but somebody I know, a friend of mine, borrowed money. I didn't have a problem helping. I know that person needed it at that moment. Never paid me back. Then called me for some more money. So I'm like, dude, like, I just gave you some money. Like, I have no problem. If you're my friend, if I have it, I have no problem helping you out. But when you say you're going to give it back to me, I want my money back. Now, when you don't give it back, you don't have to worry about borrowing it again. I got you if you need it. You give me my money back, we're good. If you cannot give it back to me, my thing is just say, hey, I don't have it right now. I'm still dealing with financial issues. Give me a minute. Not a big deal. I'll wait. But when you don't say anything, then you try to borrow money from me again. It's like you're not getting any money from me.
Or come around you with liquor in their hand, or like
Oh man,
some nice food. You like, that's some good seafood you got right there. How much that? Like $30. Oh, this ain't good. You like, but you owe me about 50.
Right, yeah.
You could have bought me something to eat at least.
right? That burns me up when you actually spending money, and I'm looking like you still owe me money. Where my money at? Like I'm gonna be patient. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to fuss. I'm trying to stay calm because it's like, okay, this bastard then borrowed money from me, bought some gym shoes, then went out to eat. I'm like, I'm paying all these bills. I can't even go out to eat, and you borrow my money and can't give it back. But then you have the ones that, okay, let me ask you this: is it fair exchange? You always giving your girl money, or you always giving this dude money, and they do little things for you.
What you mean?
So is it fair? I was about to say sex, but that's still like prostitution. I can't say that. So I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to use that. That's like
Offering
like a
little,
bad example.
a fun time for exchange for money, basically. That, right.
Like I could use that example.
If you can ask for some behind, then she can ask for some cash.
I always hear that, but that to me, that make you feel like you're selling it.
But I mean, at the end of the day, relationships are kind of
Give and take.
Yeah.
It's like that.
It end up as that anyway. Like even in a relationship, let's say you just kicking it with a friend. Y'all, you spending the money on her because you doing this stuff to have fun. Hey, as my girlfriend, now I got to spend more. And it's for sure. With the dating, it's just here and there, how we vibing it, whatever is there. But my girl, woman, wife, I gotta have that. She has to have. We better be drinking this. We better be going to this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the expectation of the relationship.
Okay, so have you ever had where you're dealing with a woman, but you really didn't have a lot of money? You know, you had bills, you had other things you had to take care of. But I forgot my point looking at him. Where you're like, okay, you want to do something. She wants to do something, but you don't have enough funds. So she won't mess with you until you get more money. Like, have y'all ever had to deal with that?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I'm good. You need more money. You don't have enough for me. So
that's the levels of hip hop right there, and manhood too. Anybody else, Vic?
Right, I see all these faces.
Right, your faces looking like, yeah.
I would be talking a whole lot, but my mic not on right now, so.
Oh, it's not?
No. I definitely be talking.
Okay.
I'm over here holding my tongue.
Oh no, it's all good.
Cause I play the devil advocate. I know it is. It's my topic right here.
Come on, fellas. We got men. Nobody gonna chime in.
What's the question again?
About the money.
About money.
Well, I
where
feel
she
bad
don't
for
want to mess
dude.
with you when you don't have enough money.
Keep it moving.
Ooh.
Are you serious too? I know.
I feel like
I had a saying on Facebook that women, they have husband. They want a husband, but got side chick qualities. If that makes sense. So you got side chick qualities, but you want husband material, but you're not giving wife material. I've had women say, "Why should I give wife material when there's no ring on my finger?" But some women expect husband off rip. You just show me this. You just show me that. You need to do that. So why am I doing husband stuff if you're not giving me wifey material for me to have an example to know what I'm going to get if I marry you? So if I'm going to just get a girlfriend, I might as well keep you my girlfriend. But if you're going to show me wife and give me examples where I'll be like, ooh, I need this in my life, the rest of my life, and I'm giving you the equal, then we know because all of marriages is a higher commitment to me. Like it's paperwork. I feel like if you together for so many years and you keep going, even if you don't go get married legally, you married by law, with a common law, something like that. So
not in Michigan anymore.
Some states.
It's
okay,
gone.
but
Yeah.
technically, if you were a guy for like, say you just don't believe in the legal system, you just like we together and y'all go do tie, y'all soul tie, whatever. It's like, what's the difference between paperwork Only thing difference is it's a legal battle at the end if it's like divorce or like that. But like if you really know you want to be with this person, why should you act different because you're not married? But
You shouldn't, but I find it's usually the dudes that flip the script when people get married.
is that a factual statement? Or is it what you
Bro,
believe?
it's just
It's just off of examples of what you have.
It's an assessment.
Hold on.
Okay.
Elaborate. You said
Right.
the dude that flipped the script. What you mean?
I think they get more because men have a tendency to be a bit possessive.
Not all men.
I didn't say all.
Okay.
Some
For this one.
have a tendency to be a bit possessive, and it increases once it's like you my wife now. That's what it's like. Once they put that ring on, it's like lock.
You're my property.
You mine now.
No, it's women like that to say you're my husband now. So
Yeah, but we
Let's
see it
look
more
at both.
often. It's more visible with the men. I'm not saying women don't do that. Women just is, we all the same. We humans. It's a characteristic flaw.
Y'all have more of an internal lock. Like it's more
I don't know about
interpersonal.
that.
What?
The
You
possessiveness.
say it's more visible. Actually, women is becoming more aggressive and trying to be more like men today more than ever.
Okay, but why do you think
real
that
stuff.
is? Women, that's women's response to how they have been treated by men. So if you want a soft woman, then y'all need to learn how to treat women.
That's excuse.
That's not an excuse. That's facts.
It go by case. Everybody not the same. So for you to sit up here and say that it's like a big epidemic, no. It's
Well,
not.
you said that. I didn't. You said women nowadays acting like the men.
I'm
Women
saying
are
it's a
more
balance.
aggressive.
I'm saying it's not more on this
Women
side
have
of
the
this side. I'm
boxing
saying it's
gloves.
stepping up. It's more back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
For what? Back and forth what?
It's back and forth. It's even now. It's not.
The
What's
women the women
What do
that
you mean
act
it's
like
even?
men and the men that act like men or don't act like men because
No,
they
man.
letting a woman act like a man.
The
women
man that's
now to
possessive.
be controlling the women now to think because they're financially more stable than a man act more possessive. Like a lot of people switching roles nowadays.
But that's
It
the
is.
man fault. What?
They trying to feminize men.
Okay,
but-
that has been going on for years, though.
Yeah.
Feminizing men. If you look at, let's be real. When you see a man walking around with a man purse, even the pants, but then you have to also think about the fact most designers are dressing men, they're gay men, so they're dressing men how they want to see them dressed. So a lot of things are different, but men are wearing it. I see men with pants. I'm a woman, so I wear fitted pants, fitted jeans. I see men with pants on as tight as mine. So it's definitely different now. Yeah,
That's
they're
why
walking
I'm
around
on.
with man purses and.
I got a question
Goodness.
for everybody. Have you ever used somebody in a relationship? That's what the topic is. So let's go around the table and let's talk about
No.
you use somebody in a relationship.
No.
Why you gotta ask?
You ever did it before?
I've never used anybody in a relationship.
You never used it for anything, even sex.
Oh yeah, I have. But it wasn't a
okay.
relationship. That was
You somebody.
That's called a fling.
But that wasn't a relationship. When I'm thinking of a relationship, like we in a relationship. No, this is I call you when
Booty
So
call.
basically,
So it's a buddy.
but the question he's asking
it was
is
a
yes.
it was a
That's yes.
situationship.
I said,
that
have
would
you
be a
ever
yes.
used somebody? So
Wait, don't start with us. You
Opposite
start.
sex.
But I don't even know if I was we was
You
using each other. We was both getting what we wanted. So is that really using?
Yes.
If it's
Yep.
both
Yes.
people's
Yeah, because
Yes.
once, if y'all
Outcome.
had other
It
interests,
still is yes.
if y'all had other interests and y'all lost them all, and it's just that.
but it was never none of those interests. That's
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying. It wasn't so
It
it
was
wasn't
just
like that.
Yeah.
So that's
He was
not
just a plaything.
I don't look at that as using.
He was
That's
a
just a
plaything.
fling, yeah.
yes, you
Booty.
did.
Shut up.
Okay, so who next?
Why you gotta look at
He got a mic. He
Oh,
ready.
okay, Mike.
Introduce yourself.
Mike is on the mic. Let's get it.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
Mike?
My name is Mike. Clearly, I'm a co-host with my man Trey on StreetLyfe with the mic. Thank you for letting me step in. I really like the topic. I'm gonna play devil advocate. I mean, I've definitely used some people. I think we all do subconsciously. And I'm going to say it like this. This is an industry of entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You only get somewhere in the entertainment industry by knowing somebody, period. So in the meantime, to get to that point, you're using somebody. In a relationship, we wake up every day, we get up, we put our shoes on, we go to work, right? At work, we do what? We try to pick people to do shit we need to do so we don't have to. Or we're bosses, so we're using people on a daily. This world and this everything is built on using people. From day one, since slavery started till now, we use people. We abuse people. That's why they still have shops with kids working for next to nothing. That's why they have a sex slave industry. That's why they have gambling, because we use people. We control their mind. It's just how good are you? And the good get rich. I mean, it's real, that's facts to it. But me, I use people daily, you know? But it's how you use somebody.
Right.
Is it malicious?
But that's why I say sometimes we do it not even knowing we're doing it because it comes second nature to us. This my man's. We've been in the trenches together. At the end of the day, me and him are doing a business together. He's using me for my platforms. I'm using him for his platforms. But we're doing it together. So I'm not using him in a dangerous way. He's not using me in a dangerous way. But at the end of the day, we're using each other. You guys are a team. You're using each other. See, we don't think about it like that. We think of using somebody, we think of it as a bad way because people abuse it. When you want to be a slave owner, when you want to be a pimp, you're using somebody. See, I look at life every day like a chessboard. Everybody is a pawn, a bishop, a rook, but it's what? There's one king and one queen. And we talk financial. I'm terrible at finances, but I'm good at making money. But my wife, like Trey was saying, it could be taught. I spent 10 years in prison. I went in as a kid. I came out with the mentality of still a kid, but I was educated. I was a man because I was educated. But I still lacked in areas. And my queen has developed her king into what she felt fit. And I still learn to this day. So it does take a strong woman or queen to provide those things a king misses, because as men, our mind races so fast that we misstep in places. And that's why I say a king or a man is only as strong as his queen, right? That's why. It's because a queen is there to take what the man lacks in. And the man is to take where she lacks. That's why a man gets up and goes and busts his behind at work. Because we the breadwinner. Why she does what? Bust her back at the house. Because she a breadwinner. It's a team effort. We look at women as, you got to take care of the kids. Men, you got to go to work. It's a job. But women got it 10 times worse. They got to go to work, take care of the kids, take care of the household. Men, we go to work and feel like that's it. But we subconsciously using somebody. It's a big thing to think about.
I want to say that ain't popping. If I work, the house is mutual. That's neutral territory. Everybody got to do something.
But most times, it usually is one person that's doing more.
But 90% of the time in
Yeah,
households,
it's normally
that's what
it's
you
the
get.
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I can say in my household, right now, my wife is a champ. But I'm developing an empire. I work a lot. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. I tore off a roof today, put it back on. I came home, showered, 3-hour tattoo session, and I'm still here because I got to drive. I'm trying to make $1 million in 2 years. And I put a lot on her. But my household is only as strong as my queen. and she built. But we built together. You know what I'm saying? If I fall, she picks me up. If she falls, I pick her up. But that's why I say it's about the way you.
How old were
abuse.
you all when you were married? If you don't mind me asking.
Let me see. We've been married, what, 9 years, 8 years. I think we've been 8 years. So I think I was probably 24.
So that was a different position.
Yeah,
I'm hearing everything you say.
But you gotta understand, we
Yeah.
got married. I was incarcerated. We met while I was in prison. You know what I mean? A year after we met, while I was incarcerated, we got married. She spent my last 5 years in prison. She spent with me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She went through a lot because she believed in me. You know, I came home, and from the day I walked out, I told her, I'm gonna buy you a house in 2 years. 2 years to the day I walk out of prison, I bought her a $133,000 house by myself, no cosigner. It's because I worked. I did that because I wanted to prove I can do this. I managed all my own money. I did it by myself. But then when I got the money, it went to my head, and I abused it the wrong way, which caused my finances to go down, which caused me to go in debt. But then I started realizing, like, man, if I just listen to her, she gonna keep me on track. But I abused it, and when I abused it, it broke down, you know. And the programs that I taught while I was incarcerated, it taught me that if you follow the path of righteousness, that's what you're gonna live. As soon as you deviate from that, you're gonna fall. And it happened every time. That's why we ended up in prison. We stayed on the right track. Look at us today. Can't tell us nothing. Engineer. I got 2 degrees, you know, and I own my own business. We got the podcast. Can't tell us nothing. But at the end of the day, we still humble because we know where we came from nothing. But we got our way through life of using somebody. But we did it the right way. At times it was wrong.
We don't know what that is called technically. That's networking.
That's it. See,
You're
that's a
networking.
proper way we call it instead of I'm abusing you. I'm networking.
Networking.
Okay.
You want to wrap up?
Yes. So we appreciate all of you guys being here. We had a very good podcast. Loved all the guests.
Yep.
Hopefully we will be able to have you guys back on again soon. We definitely want to talk to you guys about your story. You've been on with us before, and we definitely want to have you pop back up, you know, do a guest appearance. So with that said, we will see you guys next time.
Peace out.
You make a move, make it matter. Yeah. Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling?
You're rocking with the best radio station